Hello friends, and welcome to episode 19 of Fixing Your Coordinates. Today's setup looks a little bit different because I generally film this series in front of a pink backdrop, but I felt that this coordinate didn't really go with a pink backdrop. I have my whole computer here as well because I've been editing in this filming space. A lot of people say that you shouldn't work in your bedroom, and I always edit in Holly and I's bedroom because we don't have a lot of space in our 2-bedroom apartment with 3 people. I wanted to kind of change my scenery and change my view, and it's been really nice, honestly. This is my filming area, which normally in a regular apartment would kind of be like your dining room, but I kind of took it over as where I film. If you're interested in seeing like how I work and how I set up things, I've been posting a lot more on my Patreon. It's fun to share how many ways I can like change over this small space. So I have my whole computer here because I've been editing, and if you work from home and you don't have the space to like have a dedicated office, even just like facing a different wall or changing where you're working from is really nice. I know people always say it, and I tried it out and it's just been fun to have a change of scenery. Anyways, into the video. I know that I put up a bunch of disclaimers for this series and I don't remember them all right now, so I'm gonna leave that to editing lore to figure out and address you, but let's just get into coordinates. Hi Lore, I've been following Lolita fashion on and off since middle school, and last March I decided to finally jump in and buy my first JSK. I have a bachelor's in art with an art history minor, so I instantly fell in love with this dress, Magic Night in Museum by Soufflé Song, when I found it on Devil Inspired. For the most part, I'm happy with this coordinate, but I have a couple things I'd like advice on. One, I'm struggling a little bit with deciding on what jewelry to wear. I think gold tone jewelry would be best because the gold trim and frames on the dress, but I don't know if I want to go with more art themed jewelry or maybe more generic gothic stuff. I'd like to know if you have any ideas for other colors, types of blouses I could wear. I did try a white blouse with this dress, which I have pictured of, since the matching headbow had white lace. For some reason, I didn't find any pictures of the headbow for this coordinate online before I bought it, so I just assumed it would have black lace like the dress. And I don't mind how it looks, but I really don't know how I'd style it beyond that. And 3, I've never worn contacts and I don't really have plans to start wearing them, so I'd like my glasses to be part of the cord by buying matching pairs from online sellers. Do you have any advice on wearing glasses in Lolita fashion / know any good examples? Thank you so much. Yeah, your coordinate is, this dress is so beautiful and your coordinate is so cute. I don't know what blouse this is. It kind of reminds me of the I Do Declare blouse, or kind of also similar to like Kaneko's blouse. I really like this blouse with it, and I don't think you included a picture of this headbow, but I don't understand why the headbow would have white lace on it. That's so strange. I wonder if one of the other colorways has white in it. I don't personally have glasses advice because I don't wear glasses, but I know that Holly does because she wears glasses, and I think it's Firmu that she gets them from. She has a couple pairs that she wears with different styles. They're really affordable. I think hers were like $30, which is crazy for glasses. Normally glasses are like hundreds of dollars from what I have heard, but she was able to buy a couple different pairs to wear with different styles of Lolita. I'm not bothered by the white blouse with this, even though it is like contrasting to the dark lace. I think that a way to incorporate the blouse that you're wearing in this photo would possibly to look into different like gloves. I love gloves. And I think that that might be cool, and you could also incorporate more white with your tights or shoes or headpiece. I think that you could get like maybe a ruffly headpiece that has maybe like a gold or an ivory in it. I also think that like white tights with maybe like a gold print on it. I'm not sure if there are tights in existence like this, but like I remember sort of enchantilly style tights in my head that had frames on them. I don't know if they came in white or ivory tight with like golds. I'm definitely really biased because I really love gold jewelry and just gold and going over the top and OTT. So I honestly think that this would really look cute with like poofy thells necklaces. I don't remember the exact name of those necklaces I'm thinking of, but I'll put them here. I think that would look really cute. Quick message from editor Lore here. So the Puvithel series that I was talking about was the crystal heart necklaces, and I wanted to jump in really quick and mention that there is a pre-order going on for these necklaces. That's the last round of them ever. The manufacturer that Puvi uses to produce these necklaces is closing due to the events of 2020. So as of October 25th, midnight Eastern, that's going to be the last time that you can get these necklaces. So there is a little bit of urgency. If anyone watching this is interested in these, I'm definitely going to pre-order one myself. I'm gonna try to get this video up and finished as soon as possible to allow you a couple days to shop for these. Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that. I think maybe with this blouse, that like with this existing blouse, wearing some gold jewelry with it would be really nice. But if you have, say, another blouse that shows more of your neck or shows more skin, I guess, that you could then instead incorporate like dark jewelry, kind of like chokers. I like the way that they had it on the stock photo that kind of had like a dark choker. So if you maybe had a blouse that was like open here but then had longer sleeves, that might be a cool way to incorporate that. I just keep coming back to this blouse because I really like it. I don't know, I'm like, I should be thinking of more ways to style this, but I'm like, just get this blouse in more colors and style it because I really like it. I'm not sure if it's still available, but Lady Sloth did a blouse in this cinnamon color, which is really interesting, and I ordered it and I can't wait for it to come because it's kind of like an orangey gold, and I think that you could have a lot of fun with that as well if you went into more of like ivory, orangey golds and like warm tones. I hope that helps. I had such a hard time because I keep coming back to this cord and I like it how it is. Speaking of Lady Sloth, okay, this is not a sponsor or collab or anything, but I know that throughout all of these videos, I always mention sort of like an outer layer to put over Lolita, and Lady Sloth has made one. I don't know if it's available yet. I will include any information on it that I can, but it's absolutely beautiful. I think that it would look really nice with this dress. And with like basically any Lolita coordinate, it's like a fun way to style it more. I'm obsessed with it. As soon as it's available, I want to get it. Liz, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for submitting. Hi Lore, I'm Kat. I go by she, her, and Soup May is her Instagram. I live in a small town in Switzerland, so I'll stand out no matter what when I dress a little different. So I was so scared to get into Lolita. This is my very first cord. The blouse and dress are from Taobao, and I ordered it through Biner. I am not familiar at all with Biner. I was considering like exploring them in a video. If you have any information about Biner, let me know, email me. I made the headpiece myself. I got inspiration from Japanese gothic Lolitas and alt fashion. My dress doesn't have a gothic print though. I like the eye patch because I've seen Lolitas I like use them too, but because I am also a cosplayer, I'm scared that it looks costumey. That's why I tried the look without the eye patch and a long wig. I want to ask for wig suggestions. I can only think of ways to use my natural black hair or a black wig, so I'd like to stay with a darker theme as a whole. Kat. Okay, Kat, let's see. This dress is so cute. There's like big bears on it, like king bears. The crown from Beholder Fashions that I mentioned in my crown collection video would be really perfect for this. It's like the exact same crown that's in the print. I think that this would look really, really beautiful with a long gray wig. I don't think that the eye patch is costumey. I think that you're probably asking the wrong person since I wear clown makeup with Lolita, but I think that when you incorporate kind of like one costumey element, you can do it in a way where it doesn't stand out. Like I think that the way you've done this, everything else is kind of like Lolita safe. I don't think that it stands out as being cosplay. I hope that makes sense. Personally, would love to see this coordinate with a different color blouse just because I'm a fan of like contrasting things. I think that the blouse I'm wearing would honestly look nice with this because it kind of has like a gothic style to it with like a pointy collar and this like flared sleeve, and I think that the colors would look really nice to complement like the bears capes that they're wearing. I would love to see this with a big bonnet. Oh my gosh, that would look so good. I always recommend, I feel bad that I always recommend like the same things, but I do feel like this kind of brownie purple color wig would look really nice with it. I just really love how that kind of wig looks with like dark colors and reds. It's really beautiful. It's not really an accessory, but I could really see this looking cute if you wanted something to pose with. The tummy tums from Honey Lambs would be like perfect with this coordinate. Different tights. I again am like really feeling sort of like printed tights from Enchantilly or ones similar to those. If you can find them in other places, I'm sure Taobao brands have ones similar. I really like how black tights with textures look, like different kind of like knitted designs on them. If you could also find like an old school Lolita blouse, maybe from like Lace Market or somewhere secondhand, because I don't know that anyone's making them now, but like a black and white lacy blouse I think would look really cool with this, especially with like a long gray wig. Or even like I saw there was a Taobao brand that was releasing like the old school kind of tight curl, big curls wigs that would look so super cute, and even like a dark like maroon red color would be really cool, or like silver, or that like kind of dark purpley. Best of luck, Kat. I can't believe this is your first coordinate. People got it too good these days. They start off and they're already good. What the heck? You have to have an Ida phase. Let's all like have an Ida day and just dress up in our old bad coordinates. Hi Laura, I recently attended my uncle's wedding. I really wanted to wear Lolita, but since it was more of a casual event, my mom didn't want me to go too over the top, which I usually do. So that meant no wild accessories, no wigs, and I even had to get a new petty because my other one was too poofy. Also, it was raining a lot, so sorry if I look a mess. I really want to wear this skirt with a more fun look, and I'd love to know how you'd go about that since I love your particular style. Thanks in advance, Ray. Alright, real quick before I get into my advice, I wanted to really commend Ray for wearing it to their uncle's wedding. That's like so brave. And I know that they asked me for more advice on how to wear this skirt in more ways, but I wanted to really quickly mention that if you are looking for advice on how to adapt Lolita, sort of like the way that Ray did, I really recommend Fluffy Kawaijo because she expresses different ways to experiment with Lolita and make it more wearable. And I recently listened to her on the OK podcast talk about more ways of doing this, and I found it really interesting. So I wanted to recommend not only her channel, but episode 30 of the OK podcast, where Joelle goes into adapting Lolita for more everyday life and more different scenarios that you don't see a lot of Lolitas talking about or wearing Lolita too. Ray, I struggle with skirts. I cannot do skirts. It's wild because like skirts have so many more options, but that also means that you have to like get so many more things. And like when you're styling skirts, you have to consider like this area, whereas for me, I always count on this area as being like covered by a JSK. To me, it's like extra hard because I'm so accustomed to wearing JSKs that when I try to style a skirt, I feel weird because I'm like, there's so much negative space here. Definitely not the best skirt coordinator, but I am going to try my hardest because this print is really cute. I've seen this print before, but I've never seen it in this skirt, and I love like the suspenders. It's really cool. I really like the look of boleros with skirts. So taking your existing blouse and then getting a bolero that has like lace here and like maybe a lace collar, like a really like over the top lacy bolero would be really cool, because I like how sort of having a bolero end here and then having a little bit of your shirt peeking and then having your skirt and like wear a bigger petticoat, as you mentioned. That would be really fun. I really like that kind of silhouette, but if you could sort of DIY maybe like a cropped cardigan and like add bows on top of it, that would be really cool and cute. Beholder fashions for like food headpieces. I think that you could really play up like an OTT food theme with this. I don't know why, but when I look at this, boots are also calling to me. Like, I don't know where you can get them anymore. Maybe through like Taobao resellers, maybe like Antina might have them, but the like sweet boots, the Sweet Lolita boots that were like long. I had a friend back in like 2014, who had not this dress, but a very similar one, and she wore it with that wig that like people have fought about for years. It's a controversial wig. It's kind of like the blended 3-color wig, and she styled it with, I think, Fruits Parlor, and she had red accessories, and I loved that coordinate. I still think about it, and I think that I would love to see more people embrace that wig and try to style it in a nice way. Something to consider. You don't have to take that advice, but I think it's really cool to see done well. I think that bringing out like a darker pink or a kind of pink red with this would be really fun as well, and bring like this really fun contrasty kind of country picnic sweets buffet. Ray, I feel like my advice was all over the place for that one, but hopefully you can make some sense of it and feel more inspired to try new ways of wearing this skirt. Hey Laura, I go by she, her, and my user for Instagram is ChipperSkipper7. You can call me Chippers. I have this cord that I recently got from Devil Inspired. The brand is Button Bear. I really love everything that I got with it, but my main problem is finding blouses with sleeves that are long enough. I'm a tall girl with long arms. I had ordered the blouse that would have gone with this dress, but like I have stated, the sleeves weren't long enough, making it not possible to button the cuffs closed. I aim to have long sleeve blouses mostly so that I can comfortably wear Lolita in the colder seasons, but with my luck lately, it just hasn't been that great, especially when I want to be OTP with my blouses. Oh, when I want to opt to blouses? I have tights coming in the mail too, so don't worry about my bare legs. Sorry if my long paragraph just seems confusing. I'm just not the best with writing. Thanks in advance. No worries, I'm not the best with reading. This dress, I've never seen this dress before. It's so beautiful, and I love your cord too. It's so interesting that it's sort of like false sleeves because there's like the straps and then there's sort of this fabric overlay. And I don't necessarily think that you need a blouse with it, but as you mentioned, you want blouses with it, so I'm gonna try to find you a solution. I think that this would look really beautiful with gloves. Once again, gloves. I would love to see some like long opera gloves with this. It'd give like a really nice vibe, I feel. I know the long arm Lolita struggle because of Holly. She often runs into this a lot, and it's something that I'd never considered. I'd always thought like, oh, tall people, they're just tall, they have long legs, but no, they also have long arms. There are a few fixes that you could do. So if you can't button it up, you could always like put sort of like a strap between around the button and then through the buttonhole, and it doesn't look like perfect. You can sort of pose like this to kind of hide it, and if anybody gives you a hard time for that, then you can just step on them, it's fine. I know that there's also a way that you could maybe like sew sort of like a new panel to make it wider, but I understand too that the problem with having longer arms is that it falls higher on your arm, and your arm, because of the muscle, it's like thicker here, so it's harder to close up. I totally get you. I don't know what the solution is. It's something that Holly is still working on. I know there are places that do custom blouses, and I'm gonna put some resources on screen now for some places where you could buy custom size blouses and have longer sleeves made. I know also Fan Plus Friend has like a men's section. I want to state that Lolita is for every gender, any gender, but they kind of have men's sizing, so their sleeves are longer on their blouses, and there might be some in their men's section that would be perfect for you and your sleeve length. If you aren't able to find blouses and you want a winter solution, I just marathoned Lord of the Rings, so I'm a little bit biased, but I feel like if you wore this with gloves and then like got a big fancy cloak with this, that would be really fitting in this sort of like aristocrat historical sort of look. Chippers, please also check the comments because I feel like some other tall Lolitas might have some really helpful advice. Any of you watching, if you have advice for any of these Lolitas, please leave it in the comments below because all of you come from, you know, different perspectives, you all have different styles, and you might be able to offer some advice that I might not know or have in my Lolita arsenal. I would love to learn more from your suggestions, and I know that all of these Lolitas would love to hear your suggestions as well. And as always, stay lovely!